Alright, what is good everybody, 734 here, and today we're talking about the brand new SMX playoffs in the first round that just happened last night. I'm making this video the morning after, so just so I can be a little more, for sure, and a little more accurate with my recap, but yeah, just to jump into it, the track looked pretty cool and a lot more badass than the racing would actually, have you believe. I'm not saying the racing wasn't good, but the track, it was just a little more boring, a little more stale, but other than that, I thought it was a cool look at least, and, I just love the whole, speedway, aesthetic and aspect of, a race, so I thought that was pretty cool, and, the track did at least look dope, even if it didn't, allow for the best racing. It was still a cool track. It was a little too easy, there wasn't, any whoops, which I don't think even really is the issue. It's just clear that, they definitely need to make the tracks a little bit more difficult. I think an issue is that they make the tracks catered toward the 65cc riders and not just the pro riders, which I think is fine, but it's like the 65cc riders, they can always ride shit. Like, they literally had, the triples. There was a 65 rider. Maybe I'll throw the clip up if I can, but there was a 65cc rider who jumped the triple in the SMX, all-star races, and it was kind of funny, bro. I understand, that's cool, and, that's dope as fuck for a kid to be able to do that. He's a badass kid, but we shouldn't be able to, the jump shouldn't be small enough for him to do that, is basically what I'm saying. But it was still cool. The track was still dope. I love the Carolina, red dirt. It gives off the, Atlanta-ish aspect, but it's also, you can tell it's, not. It's a cool track, just a good look, and I thought it was dope, at least, from a track view perspective. And now to jump into the actual racing, for the 250 moto, the first moto, Hunter Lawrence, gets a really bad start off the rip. I think he kind of just lays it over, or kind of slid out all on his own for that moto. And then the Cali boys and the Yamaha boys, man, they were taking over. It was just hella green and blue up at the front in the 250 class for the first, maybe 5 minutes, I would say. And off the start, we had Levi Kitchen and Seth Hammaker. They were battling for a good few laps until Hammaker, he kind of crashed, and then we had guys like Deegan, Shimoda, they kind of push up into the podium positions. Deegan, he quickly pushed up and got around Kitchen into the lead. Hammaker, he fell back quite a bit. And then you had guys like Vial and Shimoda pushing up into the podium spots. Just very, very quick, aggressive riding from Shimoda in both these races, if I'm honest. Very entertaining. He made the races kind of entertaining when, the guys in the front in the first moto weren't there. Dean, he kind of checked out. I think he won by 9 seconds or something. I could be wrong about that, but something like that. But Shimoda and Vial, they did work their way up past Seth Hammaker into the lead, or into the podium positions, I should say. But good rides from them, through the pack. It was nice, especially Shimoda. He was very aggressive, very pushy. Vial was kind of like that too, but his style, the way he rides, it just doesn't come off like that. He's more smooth. He kind of reminds me of Chad Reed-ish, where he is fast and he is aggressive, but you're not gonna get that side of him. He's a lot more technical, a lot more consistent type of rider. And in the end of Moto 1, we had Deegan in first, Kitchen in second, and Vial in third, with Shimoda in a close fourth. Yeah, overall, a great first moto. I was very nervous, to see what the racing was like, but I think, for our first SMX race ever, it was entertaining, and I think it showed some promise for the following races. Now, continuing with the 250 class, in Moto 2, Tom Vial jumps out to the early start. Once again, he is very good off the start. Normally he'll be about 4th or 5th, but he jumps out to the whole shot this race. Shimoda and DiFrancesco follow him pretty quickly off the start. Great start from DiFrancesco. Apparently, from what I understand, this was his first Supercross race, and I don't know if you can really call it Supercross because it's a hybrid motocross Supercross track, but from what I understand, it was his first Supercross official pro race, which is kind of dope, even though I thought I had seen him ride one of the end rounds, but Maybe I'm tripping. And Hunter Lawrence was once again cleaned out off the start. It wasn't by any one rider in particularly. It wasn't anything intentional. It was just a few guys kind of all got together and pushed him out wide, and he was just kind of the one that got that end of the stick. But, 2 races in a row off the start, for someone like him, that is mad frustrating. And I couldn't help but be a little pissed off, if I'm honest. But we did get some of the best racing of the night in this race. Shimoda, he quickly, went to work, starts pushing up. He immediately passes Vial around the outside. It was just a disrespectful moment. Carmichael and Stewart said it. It was a pretty sick pass. And it was just dope to watch that battle. And Vial tried to push back a little, but Shimoda was just too quick and just on it. I think, it kind of just showed the difference in their riding styles, with Shimoda just being so aggressive and just pushing so hard. He didn't necessarily look like it, but you can tell just, by the way the bike is moving and revving that he is pushing it. But, I think Cowies are also just like that, a little louder, a little stronger. Yeah, good race. Deegan, he could not push up into the podium positions where he needed to be. He would have been able to get the overall had he made, I think, just 2 more passes, but he did not. So in first, we had Joe Shimoda. In second, we had Tom Vial. In third place, we had Ryder DiFrancesco. I really like that. Just seeing the rookie guys, the younger guys up front. If Hayden Deegan ain't winning, we got Ryder DiFrancesco now. So really cool, really good stuff from him. He was a little emotional on the podium from what I remember. So yeah, happy for him. Good moment for him. That is your 250 Moto 2, and the 250 overall. It would be Shimoda in first, Vial in second, and Deegan in third. Even though he did have a bad second moto, his win in the first moto, really helps him out and keeps him, in the points contention. And I believe Deegan and Shimoda might be tied for SMX points or something. I don't know how that works. It's kind of confusing. I also just don't really care about who even wins the SMX title. I think it should be a pro motocross champ or a pro supercross champ. But I guess, however this works out could be cool. I don't know. Now into the 450 motos. Barsha in Moto 1 jumps out here to the whole shot. It was cool seeing him. This is kind of a common thing on supercross tracks. Barsha, especially in the very first opening round of a series, even though this isn't technically the opening round of anything, even though in my opinion it's like a different series. It's like a little 3-round series. But yeah, Barsha, whole shot guy, gets out to the front. No surprise to anybody. And in second, we had Ty Masterpool, privateer guy, so that was kind of shocking to see. He has a somewhat factory team. It's not fully factory, so they don't call him a factory rider, but he is doesn't have as much advantages as most guys, but he started out in second, and where I landed on my bike there. But yeah, he starts out in second, and then that was just cool to see as well. Now, Jet Lawrence got a really bad start, and this sucks to see because, obviously coming off motocross, he's undefeated, so he hasn't even, tasted anything outside first in so long, but bad start for him. Sexton didn't get the greatest start either, but he did make what was best and, immediately kind of push towards the front. So he made a little better work of his situation, but he also didn't have as bad of a start as Jet. Now, throughout the top 10, we had crazy battles. We had Ferrandis, Plessinger, Roxon, Anderson. It was all just really nice. All those dudes pushed up past Masterpool, and we're kind of just battling with each other throughout the entire top 10, and throughout, the first, maybe 5 to 15 minutes of the race. It was just very entertaining stuff, from this first bit of action in the race. And Jet Lawrence, he kept struggling in the back. He did lay it over. Once again, I don't think it was anything crazy, but I think, probably just being in the back later in the race and just frustrated, he probably just laid it over and just wasn't doing too great for him. I don't even think they showed it on the broadcast. After the, initial top 10 battles, there wasn't anything too crazy. Chase Sexton in first, Ferrandis in second, and Ken Roxon gets third. Cool to see Kenny in third. He wasn't doing anything too crazy in this moto off the start, but just a quiet, consistent, good performance from him, third place. And in 450 Moto 2, we had some similar things from the first moto happen off the start. Ty Masterpool, another great start from him, but this time he's in the lead, gets the whole shot. Jet Lawrence, another horrible start for him. Just feel absolutely gutted for him because I feel like a lot of his issues came from, not doing great off the start, but, he would find his stride later in the race. And pretty quickly, Ken Roczen would come up into the lead and pass Ty Masterpool. Ty Masterpool, he did get a lot of credit, a lot of shine, so got his moment, but Ken Roczen quickly takes over. And then in about mid-pack, Adam Santarulo eats shit, and he went down for the day. I don't think he actually went out, but he did go into last place for quite a while. He was the first guy to get lapped, I'm pretty sure, in this moto, so that kind of sucked, but yeah, Adam Santarulo goes down. And then we had the faster guys kind of move up. Sexton, Anderson, Ferrandis all passed Masterpool into the top 5. Ferrandis and Anderson, they had their own little battle. Sexton was more kind of just trailing behind, and so he then makes a push into second place, where he would kind of position himself behind Roczen. And Roczen, he stood his ground for a while, but eventually Chase Sexton would push his way past and go into the lead. Nothing too unexpected. We had already seen Ken Roczen, battle guys like Sexton and Lawrence in motocross, and we knew he wasn't that fast. He did keep up with Jet for a while, but in Supercross format, I just don't think Ken Roczen has it as good as someone like Chase or Jet anymore. And speaking of Jet, Jet would pass about 3 guys. He went from 6th to 3rd in just like 4 minutes. It was kind of nuts. Very aggressive, very quick riding from him, and I mean, he should be like that. He's the fastest guy on the track in terms of just a sprint. Maybe this isn't motocross, so he isn't as honed in as Chase quite yet, but I think he's gonna get there. We saw shades of it in some of these races. Obviously, just needs to put it together from the start to the finish. Just some rough things, but Jet goes all the way from 6th to 3rd. And he didn't really stop there either. He did go into 2nd from Ken Roczen. Ken tried to make some pushback. He didn't make as much pushback as he did against Sexton. I think that kind of shows the difference between Jet and Chase, even though Chase was probably cruising a little more, being in the lead, but Jet made a lot more quick work. And that split tunnel, or the split section where you can go over the bridge or you can go around the corner into a straight, that's just such a dope little aspect where they split off and you can kind of make the pass without actually being next to the guy. It's kind of just a dope idea, and I just love that. But ending off the second moto, Chase would get first, Jet second, and Ken Roczen third. I love that top 3 in the second moto. Just a cool race. I think a lot of good battles and a lot of good entertainment. And that goes for all 4 races. 250 and 450. The 450 overall would end up being Sexton, Roczen, and then Ferrandis. Cool for Ferrandis. Really cool for Roczen, to be up at the front when he is here. Every time he's here, sometimes he's not here, sometimes he is. But when he is, he shows up. So cool to see him. But yeah, overall, I think it was a cool, fun event. Cool, fun first race. We have Chicago next weekend. I did do a watch party for this race, so that was kind of fun. So if y'all did enjoy this, if y'all want to watch the watch party this Saturday for Chicago, or next Saturday, I don't really know how you want to word it, that will be live next Saturday. You can go back and watch my watch party for Charlotte. That was a pretty dope time. We've had about damn near 200 viewers, not concurrent, but just throughout, over a span of 3 hours. So probably not the most successful one yet. But yeah, tune in Saturday, Chicago. I'm very excited to see a Chicago Speedway race. I think that'll be dope as fuck. Yeah, that's really it for this one. I try to break it down as best I can. I'm not too great at breaking the races down in depth, but I think I kind of get the point across with what I said. So, but yeah, fun night of racing. Can't wait for next weekend. I hope you guys did enjoy. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.